Hello everyone, thank you for clicking on another one of my videos. I am Screen Scene Guru coming at you with a Season 1 review for Love is Blind, talking about the teams put in the pods, and just going on from my previous video of Season 8, the modern season. If you haven't caught that video, make sure to go back and catch it. So going on to the Season 1, I did like the chemistry of this cast and crew a lot better. They seem to be able to get through relationship team building exercises a lot better than the previous team. So going into a couple of the pairings, we got to see. I'll start with Carlton and Diamond Jack were put together in the pods. And then eventually, when we got to see them outside, their relationship kind of blew up with Carlton exposing that he had dated both genders and that he was worried that the relationship wouldn't work with a woman, and he kind of self-sabotaged on Diamond Jack, which that was unfortunate to see, along with some of the other relationships. We got to see Jessica, who was paired with Mark in the pods because she was rejected by Barnett. That relationship really crumbled outside of the pods due to them not being truthful with each other. Her with her age gap difference, and him with he was just fully honest to her, and he really gave her a chance, which was sad to see. Him and his family at the altar left hanging. But also some more couples that were paired was Janina and Damien, who he said no to her at the altar, which was really shocking to hear the groom say no, the first time ever, I believe, in Love is Blind. Very shocking to see they stayed together after that, but she has since left him. Very good. We also got to see the teaming up of Lauren, of course, with Cameron. They were one of the successful marriages that they talk about, as well as Burnett marrying Amber Pike. That was a really fun, successful marriage that we got to see them team building and building their way through. One of the other relationships I want to talk about is, real quick, Kenny and Kelly. They unfortunately could not get to a physical connection in their relationship. She talked about how she just didn't have an attraction for him, so she couldn't marry him. The groom left the bride left the groom in that situation. And there was just a couple of cast members that they didn't go into. They didn't film, or they did film but didn't use footage because they were YouTubers, or some other case they just didn't make the cut of the show because of screen time, which I thought was very fascinating. And the fact that they stuck with these couples 2 years after the fact that they got together, I thought was also fascinating. Like I said, I watched all of their dating episodes up to their marriage and then the reunion episode for season 1, but I did not watch the follow-up episodes. But yeah, I thought that was very interesting. But there was a couple of cast members they did not go into, just because they maybe couldn't find pairs. But going into a little bit of the series, Love is Blind Season 1, Lauren Speed Hamilton and Cameron Hamilton were the first to get married, and they are still together, while Amber Pike and Matt Burnett got married. They are still together. So yeah, those two couples. It looks like Janina and Damien Powers were engaged but did not get married and are no longer together, so they separated. Seems like Damien had a real manipulative way about him, trying to control Janina, so I'm glad she got away from that relationship. She's single now, mingling along with, of course, we also got to see Jessica Bateman and Mark Cavias were engaged but did not get married and are no longer together. So Jessica, I don't believe, was on a lot of the screen time for the show, or actually, yeah, Jessica was on the show with Mark. Okay, yeah, Jessica left Mark at the wedding, and Mark has since found a wife, which is very great, and he has his first kid. So a love story came out of Love is Blind, even though he was left at the wedding by his bride. So that was a real cool story to find out about Mark Anthony, that he Chavez, He got a love story out of Love Is Blind. Um, like I said, Damian Powers, not a cool guy. Moving on from Love Is Blind season 1, I thought it was really fantastic. It showed the opportunity that the hosts basically have this test of whether or not race, money, or any kind of circumstance really do make a factor in love. And I thought it was really cool to see that two couples out of the experiment made it in this first season. So a decent average for their experiment. Moving on from that, I've got a little bit of movie news to discuss. So I will go into that real quick. I got a little bit of notes jotted down. So starting off, we've got news on Mortal Kombat 2. This is breaking from a few news outlets. Our first looks at returning characters like Scorpion, Cole Young. Looks like Sonya Blade is returning, as well as Liu Kang and Jax from the first Warner Brothers released Mortal Kombat film in, I believe, 2020. That had somewhat meager returns. Not many people cared for that one, but I was a big fan. They are, of course, doing a sequel, which is, of course, the 10th tournament championship of the Mortal Kombat. We've got new characters like Shao Kahn and Katana and Johnny Cage showing up. So really interesting stuff there with Carl Urban being cast as Johnny Cage. You guys can get your first looks on the articles that are dropping currently right now. So yeah, the interesting stuff that they're going into the plot of this film being the 10th tournament, kind of the final chance for our champions of Earthrealm to keep the forces of evil from the Netherworld from taking over. It looks like they're going to be going into other realms in this film, which I'm really excited about. Even talking about the return of dead characters with their spirits. So that's really cool. We've also got industry insiders talking about casting for Superman and early screenings of it being very comical, like Guardians of the Galaxy. So take what you will from that James Gunn project. It looks like he's bringing his same creative touch to the Superman film. And we've also got casting announcements for Jor-El, Superman's dad, supposedly being Tom Cruise. We're not sure if these are confirmed. These are just speculations right now, but a lot of interesting news coming down the line. Be sure to like the video and subscribe down below. Make sure to comment what your thoughts are on the channel. Be sure to follow on Instagram and on Threads for future content. Until next time, guys, bye-bye and have a good one. I'll see you next time. Alrighty.